Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Nexus Forces Tournament. I am Tetra. I will be your caster for today. We have three great series coming up for you today. We have a lower bracket game. In fact, we have several lower bracket games. Let's have a look at the table to take you through what we will be witnessing today. As you can see, our table is most of its way through already, although part of it appears to have broken while I wasn't looking. Allow me to fix that. Right click, interact. Why can't I interact with you? What's going on there? Excuse me, what's all this then? Interact. There we go. Fixed. We fixed it. Everything is fine. Nobody panic. So, here is our table for you all to witness. As you can see, we already have our final four teams. Hell yeah. We have, currently, waiting in the Grand Finals, a name that I am always going to mispronounce. No one had any doubt that Tetra was going to mispronounce this name. If you did have a doubt that I was going to mispronounce this name, you are foolish, and you have not watched any of my casting before. But I have been practicing to the point of using Google Translate in an attempt to get a good description of it. In fact, here is what I've heard.
Krzykliwy brzask.
Krzykliwy brzask?
Krzykliwy brzask.
Krzykliwy brzask is about as good as I think I'm gonna get, quite frankly. But Krzykliwy brzask are currently waiting in the Grand Finals. We then have Intig for Ruby waiting in the lower bracket finals after putting on quite a solid match, even taking a map off of them. We also have, currently sitting a little bit further down in our first match of the evening, Dudes versus Soundless. These are our heroes. And I am sorry, Fenction, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but unfortunately my pronunciation skills are non-existent. They never have existed, and unfortunately will probably never exist in the future. They've always been terrible. Close enough, I'll take it. I will take it. We'll have it. Krzykliwy brzask. It's gonna be wrong. It's gonna be wrong. Apparently it means Screaming Dawn. Just play the Google Translate button every time their name happens. Oh my god, they're going in! That's a great team kill from...
Krzykliwy brzask.
Yeah, that won't get annoying at all. That won't get annoying in the slightest. So, our teams are rolling in from our first match of today, which is Dudes versus Soundless. Let's get this going. It sounds like... Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of syllables there, which just... The sounds aren't really in the English language. Krzykliwy brzask. I'm doing my best. Doing my best. Good old KB is another one which we'll probably end up using quite a bit. KB will probably be the name we end up using. I've had this issue for years. Like literally the first offline event I did for Heroes, we had a team which went on to become Virtus Pro, and they had players like Sevkaja and stuff like that. Players who were really hard to pronounce. But we got it. We got it. We work it out. We fix as time goes on. We just try our best. That's all we can hope to do. So, for now, this series is a best of 3. The second series will be a best of 3, and the finals will be a best of 5. Let's get this going as we have a look at our bans for the first series of the day. The Dudes! They banned out Braxis Holdout as they were given map choice. They banned Braxis. Soundless removed Tomb of the Spider Queen. And then the first map choice, as it appears we are on single map bans today. The first map choice shall be Dragonshire. We are literally awaiting one more player from Soundless to make their way into the lobby. We are now also waiting for one other player from Dudes as someone just DC'd. Never mind, they're back. So yeah, we're waiting on our last player from Soundless, and then we will be good to go. And we'll be able to get this going. The teams are already rolling in. We had some very interesting matches from them yesterday with some very interesting heroes played. Soundless leaned quite heavily on that Leoric in both their games, but they also were able to pick up Vala multiple times, banning out heroes that mostly counter Vala. We're talking Zeratul in both games, Kerrigan in both their two most recent matches at least. There was a Cassia ban and a Junkrat ban as well. If we have a look at dudes, they're a little bit more flexible here. They've actually played that Zeratul, so this will be a very sensible and expected ban, I would expect. I'm being asked if I am ready. I am R. I don't know if I think we're supposed to have another caster, so I don't know where they are. I don't know what's going on there, but either way. Dudes, they've played that Zeratul, so I expect we will be seeing that as a ban from the side of Soundless. They also have played a little bit of Genji. Perhaps we'll see that taken out. But for now, we have a draft. We will find out all this information in the game as we are heading on in. Let's get this going. Let's see how we go. So, once again, this will be Soundless with first pick, first ban, as they were gifted that joy. Let's see how they start us off. They start with Li Ming ban, not leaning on the expected bans that we had of trying to take out heroes like that Zeratul, like that Kerrigan. They're starting off a little bit lower down this time. Very interesting. German caster skipped the first map. Understood. That is why we do not have the other caster in here today. At least yet. We'll see how that goes. So Li Ming, first ban. Very interesting. Taking that out of action might be a target ban on dudes, but they did not play it in the last two maps. In fact, they played stuff like the Mephisto instead in terms of mages. The Vala shall be taken out of action. Dudes have done their research. Soundless did like it a lot, so instead we're seeing a Mei ban. This actually works out better for Soundless now. They're not banning out the counters in this particular matchup. So now, the Mei is taken out of action. Final ban here. Uther is still up. Medivh is still up. Kerrigan is still up. Kerrigan has massively leapt up in priority in terms of the pro games. Is an incredibly deadly hero. CC chains are very hard to deal with at the moment. We see the Lucio taken out of action. Lucio is eliminated. Lucio, high five, still very good. Mixing Fire, I believe, is currently banned due to it being a little bit bugged, but doesn't mean that high five itself isn't going to be solid. There's that Junkrat coming in for Soundless. Great wave clear, harassment for the objective, and of course the Dragonite itself. It's a solid choice. A lot of disruption as well. If you go Concussion Mine or Steel Trap build, you can really cause disruption for the enemy team. As dudes pick up the Varian first, looking for a quick pickup hero here. Second pick, the Chromie. Great follow-up for a Varian. Varian holds him still. Chromie unleashes the sand. It's a very standard, safe early pick. The Varian first pick really dictates their playstyle. You don't see it too often, but we do have a couple teams who very heavily favor it and lean on it. Varian is definitely not considered to be the toppest of top tanks, but Varian comps are still always considered to be viable because they are so simple to execute. We're going to see Rexxar picked up a little bit early here by the side of Soundless. Hydra is a very good Rexxar, but picking it up before that second ban phase, so there's the potential for that Malthael or maybe a Kira that could come out and potentially counteract that Rexxar if they're not careful, or even Artanis, who might lose the objective a little bit, but will be able to stack up insanely and get a huge amount of damage output. Dudes now. What do we see as their next ban? The final ban for them, at least. We're going to see Diablo taken out. With Diablo, the Rexxar, Brightwing, there's a lot of burst here. Very sensible blow-ups. So Diablo taken out of action lowers that capability at least a little bit. Soundless, with Chromie on the board, they're going to ban out the Malfurion. Malfurion's a great follow-up for Varian as well, especially with the new Emerald Dream. Another one would still be Ana, but you are at risk of getting hard engaged on with an Ana. She has a lot of burst healing at later levels, but can get caught out. So what do they go for instead? Again, Uther's still up, Stukov is still up. We're going to see that Stukov coming in for dudes. And they once again go back to leading on that Leoric. They pick it up very, very often here. so it seems to work out quite well for them. And Leoric could do okay into Rexxar. He's very unlikely to actually kill the Orc/Ogre, but he might kill the bear a couple times, and he's going to be able to sustain versus it on the point a few times. I'm just concerned about his long-term objective control, as we're going to see Soundless busted out the Stitches. They don't have Diablo, so they go for a different style of blow up here. They now have that Stitches and Sylvanas, who Sylvanas could, in theory, go into Mind Control as a follow-up for that Hook. Hook into Mind Control is just going to be a long piece of CC and a great set of abilities to just force someone out of position. Dudes, what do they go for? Their final pick, second range damage dealer. Tychus is still up, potentially. If they want someone a bit more mobile, they could have gone for a Cassia with the extra move speed, but they don't want that sustained damage. They want a little bit of extra burst here, so they now have Chromie. Whittle them down, drop them low, and Genji for a finisher. So they're really committed to that blow-up style. They're not going for any sustained damage at all other than Poke Sustain and Leoric Drain. Let's see how dudes are able to execute this as we're preparing to head into game number 1. Once again, these are best of 3s, ladies and gentlemen, as we are preparing for our first game. We have 2 more series after this. Our lower bracket final, which will be against Inting for Ruby. Winner of this play against Inting for Ruby, and then our winner will play against Team KB, which I will just keep calling them KB because I will screw up the other name. But otherwise, I hope you're all excited. I am excited. The games yesterday were very, very fun. I hope you are ready for some awesome action. We, of course, have teams that qualified from the open qualifiers for Nexus Forces and 4 teams who did not make it to Paris for the Masters Clash. So we have some of the highest level of EU play here, some of the top teams, and the spread is currently pretty even, with an open qualifier team in the Grand Finals and in this match, and a Masters Clash team in this match and the lower bracket finals. Let's see how it goes. We are heading into the game, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get this underway. Spawning on the left-hand side in the blue trucks, it is going to be dudes, with Phoenix playing the Genji Abols on that Stukov. DDS Vicarious will be playing that Chromie. We have Shizak 1D. They will be playing on that Varian, and we have Kroguk. They will be playing the Leoric. Whereas on the right-hand side, in the red trucks, it shall be Soundless with ZW Hydra on that Rexxar. Sir Ice Cream, one of mine and Grubby's favorite player names back when we did Open Division. They are playing on that Stitches. We have Nenepi. They will be on the Sylvanas. Shamzik on that Brightwing. And Fallander will be busted out the Junkrat. Let's get this going. Already, Junkrat sending out a couple grenades. Nothing too aggressive as of yet, just causing a little bit of trouble. As we see a trap was set in the bot lane, but no one hard committing to anything as of yet. The bear spots Leoric, and they're going to bring up Nenepi. They're going to try and just bust down Leoric as fast as possible here. Not able to do so, but they do drop him to half hit points. Instead, there's a little bit of a brawl up in the bottom, down in the bottom lane. And Chromie gets a lot of stacks. Vicarious going with deep breathing here, getting the mana cost reduction. And of course, that extra damage. Looking for Fallander here, pre-level 4, so no taunt yet. But the steel trap is placed perfectly. Fallander sets up that kill. First blood goes over to Soundless. The ball's hit by the concussion mine. Hook onto Phoenix, but it is Genji. He just quickly dashes away. Have a look at some of these other 1 talents. We're seeing the extra round timers becoming more popular these days. A little bit of extra damage at the end. The Hungry for More. A little bit of a rarer Stitches talent, but it is the old classic, and it's still good. The extra movement speed is so strong, and the potential sustain you can get out of it is very, very high. We saw that deep breathing, as we already mentioned. Classic reactive ballista pause here. Osteo renewal for the Leo. All of Leo's level 1 talents are pretty solid. Great hook onto our balls. Can they turn that into a kill? Lurking arm on Sir Ice Cream, not enough. As Leo is being forced to stay in mid lane to try and interrupt this Dragon Knight, and he will do so long enough, even with the rotation of Nenepi, who currently has been spending a little bit of time in mid lane and a little bit of time in bot lane and a little bit of time in top lane, really trying to cause trouble for the members of Dudes by just disrupting that Leoric double soak. Very smart. Hook does not find the target. We have that Tenderizer for Stitches. Let's try and slow people down, see if they can put the pressure. Begin the channel, quick charge in. Taunt is now available as we are at level 4. Fallander eats the sand. Here comes Phoenix diving in. Not enough for the follow-up. Hook's good though onto her balls. Ratabalista Pulse will activate in just a moment. No, he's actually taking through it. Doesn't even need it. That extra armor from Stukov is coming out to sustain everyone. And Shizak holding the line for the moment, but health bars aren't looking the best right now. Trying to pull him in, trying to set up for another kill. The Tattering Teeth is already active. Consequence, great polymorph, is able to get the counter kill onto Varian as he came in for the engaged. Phoenix might have also gone too far. A Balls is taken out. Shamzik, the one running forward to set that up. The sand is good, but they get Genji too, and Stukov. It's 3 for 0. Shamzik surviving the Chromie counterattack, but that is a fantastic advantage at this early stage of the game for the members of Soundless. So they're going to bring Brightwing back in. She ported and then teleported with her phase shift. They now have the double channel. Once again, as predicted, we are seeing Rexxar holding out on the top lane. He's able to control this, even with Leoric having that fantastic drain. Rexxar just gets better control because he's always in the XP and will get the lead for his team. Leo on the point, though. Misha a little bit slow on the reaction. Genji coming in for the gank. There's the Wraith Walk to try and set up the kill onto Hydra. One more auto. Phoenix already using the E to engage, though. Cannot go further. No Swift Strike available for the kill. And as such, Rexxar escapes. They begin working their way, continuing to double soak Nenopy. Not taunted, they just let it go. The poly instead onto Phoenix, who drops super low. Big dive by Nenopy. The poison goes through Shadow Dagger with the kill. 5 to 0 in favor of Soundless right now. They are in full control at this early stage of the game. Looking for the double channel again for now. ZW Hydra just has to quickly soak out. Get a little bit of extra XP. Goes for the stun build. It's not a must-have against Leoric, but he's still going to be able to get some really good value in the late game from it. Those extra stuns onto Genji especially will be really, really good. And as you can see, Krugok is forced off. Bruiser Camp picked up by the side of Soundless. Dudes started a siege camp but can't finish it. They have to get the experience. Gank is set up. They want to try and bait Leo in. They interrupt his port. Will they go forward? Nenopy coming forward. They look for it, but they will not finish the job onto Krugok. We have that cooldown reduction on Lost Soul to combine with the attack speed of Might of the Banshee Queen. Such a good combo. Stitches, serrated edge here. A little bit of extra damage and cooldown reduction. 5-second cooldown reduction is really, really insane here. There's a kill up in top lane. T-Tors as Brightwing is killed. Finally, a kill on the board. 2 kills on the board as Junkrat went down as well. 2 kills on the board for the members of Dudes. Catching up a bit. Hotsnox, thank you very much for the follow. Temporal Loop for Vicarious. So Ice Cream will eat a little bit of a shot. That is a Mobius Loop as level 10 is hit earlier for Soundless. Losing 2 kills. Dudes are back in the game, though, and will hit level 10 very shortly after. Bot held in control by Soundless, and top about to go in their favor as well as ZW Hydra retakes position. But here comes the team, including Leoric, looking to maybe set up a gank here. Hook does not land. Leoric coming in from above. There's that Entomb X-Strike. Massive shove. Varian yet to pick, but it is obviously less important. He already has his heroic, and we already have that temporal loop as well. Junkrat also yet to pick. Riptire, a much more standard talent here, but there is a place for Rocket Ride as a safety tool, especially with Temporal Loop in the game. See how they do. The siege comes in. Leo reclaims top lane. Keeps control for Dudes so that Soundless can't get that Dragon Knight. Able to control that for now, but that bear sustaining pretty well. Here comes Hydra. The extra damage from the Orc body is going to do a lot here. And Krugok, even with the percentage damage, will be drained down and forced to retreat once again without help. They are losing this trade, at least at this early stages. They went for Willing Vessel, which is actually helping them a lot here. Chromie finishes deep breathing. Trying to hold the line, Lurking Arm again zones the team. Hook perfectly landed, X-Strike. Bird immediately Wailing Arrow as the follow-up. Here comes Rocket Ride, looking for Phoenix. Immediately deflect and just gets a massive shield from that augmented guard. The counter engage, looking for Stitches, while Junkrat is in base. The disadvantage of Rocket Ride is coming in as down goes Stitches. The 4v3 taking in favor of Dudes. They force them back. Fallander made their way back in, but the issue with Rocket Ride, yes, you get that extra mount speed to help get yourself back in, but you're still removing yourself from the fight. And if you don't trade out for a kill, you lose value. You remove yourself from the fight temporarily by doing this. Netherp has rotated up, making sure that they can keep control of top so that no Dragonite is taken. They get the kill. Phoenix rotating in a little bit late, unable to get the counter. Lurking Arm again onto Shamzik this time. Dropped a little low. Stitches now at level 13. Has that extra extended hook range. Looking good already. Sylvanas gets that remorseless. Great combo. Great hook into the steel trap. They really are just bullying Shamzik. Down he goes. Down he goes. Taken out. Such an insane polymorph from Shamzik there to set that up. Chop now for Stitches. Getting that little bit of extra attack speed to combo with the Tenderizer, making it so hard for people to escape. Bruiser Cap is being picked up. Double Channel is available for the side of Soundless here as they are massively in control. Spectral Leech coming in for Leo. He's desperately trying to sustain. Let's see if he can hold. The Spectral Leech will give him a little bit more regen. Dodges the stun. That's going to help out a lot. Drain Hope comes out. Immediately dodged out, but he's trying to regen. The siege down in bot lane. Hook is beautiful. He finds it around the fort. The concussion mine set up. The steel trap set up. Vicarious is in trouble. Temporal loop is coming out. Vicarious dies. Netherp, though, they dove past. Another block on the Rocket Ride. Shield wall and deflect just shutting them down at every turn. That's a 1-for-1. The fort still dies, though. Still goes in favor of Soundless. Grugok, he's literally just camping this right now, desperately trying to hold. He's trying to sustain. Shamzik from over the side with Dream Shot. That's going to drive him back. Very nice. Very good delay. That will neutralize the objective. It's going to set themselves up, stay alive. Bruiser Cap gonna be picked up here by the side of Soundless. No mirror on the side of Dudes. They don't exactly have many good camp clearers. Leo can do it, but he has to stay top. Chromie can do it with help. They're busy controlling bot lane. Their camps just aren't available, because if they back up for too long, then Rexar will just destroy Leo. And if they back out from bot, Junkrat gets to set up. Setting themselves up. Hook not landing. They really want to try and turn this into a kill. Here comes Shizak trying to set themselves up. Shamzik turning it round. Great shot onto Sir Ice Cream. He's going to be pulled into Temporal Loop, but he's already got the bile down. Slowing down the team. Fantastic Wailing Arrow. And finally, a Rocket Ride lands. Getting them the great trade. Shimzak focus down here, looking for the hook onto Vicarious. Can't do it, but Genji doesn't get the X-Strike over the wall, just short on range. The Bruiser Cap's being cleared out by Kruggle, but this will be the Dragonite. Chromie falls anyway, as the Dragonite is now available and will be picked up by Soundless.
I tried to save this realm. No,
Advantage taken. They in fact try to flank onto top lane, so Ice Cream just hanging around. Doesn't need to fully engage yet, just trying to be a bully. Krugok's actually been able to tank this pretty well. Bots getting pushed in by Brightwing and Sylvanas setting themselves up. There's that Pulverize for Stitches. The extra slow and armor reduction combos with Tenderizer. Really good way to get those auto attacks off early to try and guarantee those extra slows. Leo does go down. The gank is successful. They even burned Entomb on it. But the gank was successful up on top lane. They now look for Varian. Quickly behind the wall. Shizak playing safely here. Making their way forward. Trying to set themselves up. Hook, ambitious. So Ice Cream unable to find the target in this case. Krugok pops out. Drain Hope now. Takes a little bit of the Dragon Knight. Not a huge amount. They don't capitalize. In fact, they're going to drop that Dragon Knight a little bit early here. Not going to risk anyone getting caught out of position because they have that extra range hook now. And they want to make the most of it. So Ice Cream wrapping around does not find the target. As such, Siege Camp is being started by Soundless. Going to try and steal this away from Dudes. But Shizak is in range. Massive shove. Bird, Bear on the point. Bear pulled off the point as Entomb completely splits the team. Absolutely gorgeous. But they're not finding kills. They get the Bear. The phase shift comes out from Brightwing. But they're not killing anyone. In fact, counter-engage from Dudes. They're still going, trying to set this up. It so far is a Bear for nothing in favor of Dudes. They want more after retreating the first time, but they can't do it. We have Phase out for Brightwing as well to try and dodge that Temporal Loop, as well as the Fade Death and the Will of the Forsaken. Excuse me, it's Summer. As well as the Will of the Forsaken for the same reason. Mithril Mace coming in for the Leo as well. Stacking his way up. Dudes aren't out. They are very far behind, but they are not out yet. They've shown that they are very willing to take these very aggressive fights. Bruiser Camp grabbed by Soundless. More pressure onto the bot lane. It's a double camp push in Bruiser and Siege. And look at that timing. Bruiser just in front of the Siege camp. That is really nice. They're going to try and set themselves up for this keep. Top lane, everyone porting back to base, making sure that they are here for this defense to try and make the play. Talent's even by level 20 just around the corner for Soundless, which will give them the advantage. We see Stitches with that Master Hooker. Get that healing reduction and unkillable. Kill command, the Bolt of the Storm. Nothing for Brightwing yet. Cannonball for Junkrat, sieging away. Brightwing with Invisible Friends. The keep has been taken. No kills available. They don't find the hook, so it's an immediate retreat out of Sir Ice Cream. Sir Ice Cream, even back in my day, was one of the most fantastic Stitches. Top Bruiser was able to get a counter kill. Fought on the board for Dudes again. They lose a keep, but they're not out. They're creeping back in little ways. Assuming they can keep their base clear, they can try and turn us into something. Drain Hope coming in. Entomb lurking arm. It's not able to find it. Enemy finds a gap and blinks away. Master Hooker was used on Shamzik as well, making sure that they were safe. Trading on the channel. Top being cleared out. It's only the Mage Mercenary left, so Hydra will be able to clear that. Rexxar is not great at clearing out camps that are pushing in his lane with this build in particular, so help is always appreciated. And as such, with only the Mage left, they're able to killing that out very quickly. Chromie with the Piercing Sands and Shifting Sands now, stacking their way up a little bit of extra damage. And we see Dudes just trying to position themselves in the weirdest spot here. This positioning here was purely due to the fact that why on earth would they be here? They could still potentially get the drop on Soundless if they try something sneaky, and they're less likely to get hooked because it's an unexpected position to be in. Top channel traded for bot channel. Stitches grab that bear, lands the stun. They're fighting down a member here because Stitches is not available. Entomb blocks off their escape as the rest of the team retreats here. Phoenix dropped very, very low. Stitches coming in from the side. Temporal Loop dropping a huge amount of damage, as does the Sandblast as they turn it round. There's the dash away from Phoenix. They're trying to shut down Sir Ice Cream, who's in the back like Hugok taken out, while Stitches distracts 3 members. The rest of the team is picking up kills. The massive shove onto Stitches, but now Balls is looking low. Here comes the rocket rider. Ball sidesteps, can't do it. That's going to be a double kill going over to Soundless. Top lane being de-pushed. Sir Ice Cream grabbing that Sunshrine. Moonshrine is available, but Phoenix is going to try and make the play. Can't do it. Just a split second away. Dragon Knight goes over to Soundless. And they're going to look to try and end the game here. 16 minutes, level 20 to level 20. Living weapon buried alive. If they can kill this Dragon Knight, they have a chance, but they're down a Stukov. Good dodge there, but they got to start working on this Dragon Knight. It's far too healthy. Time Trap buys them some time. Dragon Breath, a little bit of extra damage here. Hook not landing once again. trying to end the game. Soundless move forward, setting themselves up to try and finish this. They've got a siege cap and catapults on the back. There comes the Entomb, which is fantastic with the Buried Alive. But Fallander tanks through Shamsik, risking the silence to dive in and heal. Down goes Genji. A Bulls comes through. Vicarious takes the Dragon Knight, but everyone else is too healthy as game number 1 will go over to Soundless, taking the lead in this best of 3. Even a rocket ride at the end. Chromie almost lives, but they're able to get the kills. That is going to be a 19-4 game in favor of Soundless, able to take the lead in this first series. Very, very nice. Soundless looking solid, looking like the stronger team from start to finish there. Can they bring it home in game number 2? A very solid and convincing game here. You can see in terms of the actual statistics that Junkrat was able to top the damage. The siege and AoE damage was very, very effective and even got 6 of those kills. Just because you're not hitting all of those rocket rides doesn't mean you're not getting value. You can see, though, that both Genji and Varian got a lot of self-healing and self-shielding because they were able to block some of that damage. Very, very cool to see. Leo literally farming Misha. 50,000 self-healing. Leoric got as much self-healing as the Stukov actually healed. That's just how much Leo was just drinking away. Just drinking that Misha. Sustaining that way. In the end, though, damage-wise, Leo was obviously able to farm the percentage damage for a solid lead. And we can have a quick look at the talents before we jump into our next lobby, which is already up. Fantastic. Love to see it. You can see here, we did get those Sandblast talents at level 20, as we mentioned, or level 18, as it is for the Chromie. Really got them a good amount of damage output, but it wasn't enough in the end to catch up to that Leoric. The Stitches Master Hooker didn't really come into effect at the end of the game, but they were still able to pick up the kills when they needed. And yeah, the sustain damage just didn't seem to be there to kill the Stitches. What's the percentage damage? Just Leo. They didn't have the tools needed in this case, did dudes, to finish off Soundless, finish off that Stitches. They killed him maybe once, maybe twice. Let's see. They killed him once. Once per person, except for Hydra. Also, good for you, Hydra. Not dying on Rexxar. Not the easiest task. Alrighty, we'll come back to me while we get set up for game number 2. We already have our map available, so we'll be able to jump into that very shortly. Never mind, game is no longer available, so I'm assuming that that map has disappeared. I'm assuming there's a new lobby. Okay, well, there is no lobby. There is no lobby. There we go. I have Fallander on friends list. We'll fix that way. Okay. And do we have our admin? Invite to game. Okay. Alrighty. So, who's selected first pick? Looks like it's gonna be... Looks like this was the map pick, interestingly, of dudes. Let's double check that. Nope, that is not correct. We take first pick. Towers was selected by Soundless. They just need to change the draft team. Alrighty, so here is our second map. We are heading to Towers of Doom as our second map in the Nexus Forces tournament. Black Milk Online, thank you very much for the subscription.
Fox Pride and Kai Pride Rise. Kai Pride Rise.
Hell yeah. Very appreciated. Welcome to the stream. Big ups to the Pride crew. Let's go. Oh, my Essex is showing. Sorry, team. Alrighty. Teams are ready. We are off into game number 2 of our best of 3. Let's see if Soundless can close this out, or if dudes, that's a lot of hearts, or if dudes will be able to take us back into a game number 3. Let's get this going. Dudes with first pick, first ban. What do they opt to do to start us off? A winner of this matchup goes on to play Inting for Ruby. I'm going to have a quick sip of my delicious, I believe they're called summer coolers. I'm going to have some of that. Last time it gave me brain freeze, so if you hear sounds of pain in about 8 seconds, you know what happened as we see Medivh taken out. Delicious. Can't wait for the pain. Soundless. Taken out. The Li Ming again. Second time in a row. Lucio also removed this time. Alrighty. Gonna see Chromie taken out of action. The Chromie was very strong from Vicarious last time. Nearly got them back in. So Soundless removing it from the board, but instead they take Vala, stealing it away from Soundless. A cheeky play from dudes here. I am on board. Very on board. They didn't even try to hide it. They didn't bat out the counters to Vala like the same way that Soundless would. They're just going for it. All right. All right. I see you. I see you, dudes. Soundless picking up the Cassia and the Uther. Uther is going to help them out here. Vala is, of course, not unstoppable. She is counterable. The counter is Big Dive. Let's see if we see Soundless picking something like that up, because Uther could definitely set them up for a Kerrigan. De-shield the Kerrigan when she goes in, everything dies. Not a huge amount you can do about it. Dudes. They get Mei and the Vikings. We are on towers, but damn, let's go. Vikings, of course, counterable in several ways. You can try and just counter-soak them with something like an Abathur. You can try and counter-double rotate them with something that will survive getting interrupted on the rotation. This would be your Leorics or your Divas, and try and double-soak it that way. Very smart battle in the Zarya. You want to remove that second support value, which is why they've also already taken the Uther, because Uther main tank, second support would be too much, because it would be the second healer for Vala. And of course, the other way to deal with Vikings is to kill them. Your Falstads, your Zeratools, all would be solid choices in that set. Stitch is banned out this time. Taking that out of action. So Ice Cream, too scary, too strong to deal with here. So it's just going to be removed from the table. Hope everyone's having a good time today. If you're enjoying the stream, then maybe consider dropping a subscription or a donation using the donation links below. Or check out my YouTube. I do a weekly news show where I cover Heroes Lounge. This tournament will be in it. And you can become a member on there. It's cheaper than subbing, or more expensive than subbing, depending on how much you want to support. Falstad, smartly picked. Gank them Vikings, kill them Vikings, farm the XP, and Diablo is on the board again. And now dudes. Final two pickups here. Need support, and probably a second support as well. I say maybe Malfurion, and then something a little bit more catch to Diablo, which would be Brightwing? Deckard, and they're going single support. Decacade is on the board, Tychus as the counter to that Diablo. Now, this can work. This absolutely can work, but I honestly think that stealing this Uther away and banning that Zarya Soundless may have actually outdrafted here. The Deckard has one advantage over some of the other supports with Vala, and that's that he does have shielding potions. So his healing's going to get more bang for buck on a Vala as a single support than some of the other healers. Zeratul comes in, though, and we have so many counters now. We have quick bursts to deal with Vala, to deal with the Vikings. There is no cleanse available for that Diablo. This is going to be a difficult game for dudes. But in terms of damage, they certainly have it. If they can get the fights they want, then they can basically kill anyone they choose. This is going to be difficult, but it's not impossible. We'll see if dudes are able to take game number 2 and take us to a map number 3. I don't know why I'm doing this hand signal, but we are getting ready. I'm telling you that the game is okay. That's okay, isn't it? I don't know what this is. Let's get going. We're getting ready to load on in 2 Towers of Doom. If dudes win, we head to a game number 3. If Soundless win, they will be heading on to play versus Inting for Ruby at the other end of the table. Why does that keep resetting? That is irritating. You can kind of see it on the end. The bracket broke again. I'll fix it later because we are already into the game. Let's get this going. On the right-hand side, currently 1-0 up in this series. It shall be Soundless with ZW, Hydra playing Falstad, Shamzik on Uther, Nenepi on Zeratul, Sir Ice Cream on Diablo, and Fallander will be playing that Cassia. On the left, playing Eric, Baylog, and Olaf. I forgot his name there for a second. It is Krogulk. We have Vicarious on Vala, Shizak 1D on the Mei, Abols on Deckard, and Phoenix is playing Tychus. We're going to be getting this underway, having a look at some of these level 1 talents. Ooh, explosive attacks. Very interesting, going straight for wave clear. No bribe, no tanky Olaf like a lot of teams like these days. They're straight in for wave clear. Same with Tychus, quarterback comes in. Very exciting. We'll see how that works out for him. We're seeing frequent flyer for the Falstad. Blake for Zeratul, so it's going to be a quick blow-up build, which makes sense against Vikings. Thunderstroke, Wave of Light, to support Uther build these days. Also tank Uther build, unless you need the extra CC. Diablo auto attack, or at least setting up for it. They're trying to bully out Shizak here. Good stun. Very nice. First blood. Look at the lane setup. Baylog in bot lane. That is definitely unusual. We're starting to see the rotation now. Looks like Baylog started down here to try and get an XP advantage. He will probably rotate away now as we have a quick pause. We'll return to me while we wait to find out what that pause is about to protect the professional integrity. Alright, looks like they have a ping issue. So we'll be back in but a moment. Another talent I want to talk about while we're waiting here, we have the Fire at Will for Vala, the Sapphire for Deckard, which kind of leans towards the fact that they're probably going for those shielding potions and not something like Ruby. And we also have the one that I'm actually kind of interested in, the Heavy Pack from the Mei. This increases the slow by 1.5 seconds of Mei's Snowblind, and each time Blizzard damages an enemy hero, they get a cooldown reduction on Snowblind, and they gain mana. So they can actually sustain themselves in terms of actual just sustained DPS output with that and keep their enemies slowed so that Vala and Tychus can really capitalize on this. This makes sense because Vala has a talent that does bonus damage to slows later on in. Looks like we're going to have a router reboot, so Sir Ice Cream will be back in but a moment. So we will have a delay in this game number 2 until Sir Ice Cream can get themselves back in and we can get underway. My hair is a mess. Can you tell I woke up just a few minutes ago? Because I can. Feels good. Alrighty. I still hope everyone else is enjoying the game so far. I am very excited. It is a warm day today. The aircon is on full and I'm still sweating. And that's not just the absolute favorite. That's not just how exciting these games are. That's your favorite number 1 for mana, and that makes sense. It's very sensible. We don't usually get to see it. It's interesting. You usually would see the extra sustain from heat transfer or the extra wave clear from the damaged one. I can't remember what it's called. But you would see a little bit of that being used for control on objective maps like Infernal Shrines, where you can just get a little bit of zoning that way and guarantee that extra damage, even if it's not on heroes, you can guarantee it onto the neutrals. So there's a little bit of value on either one there, and of course the extra slows in this case is going to be fantastic for that Vala, as we say. How is everyone doing? I hope you're all having a lovely day in the chat. If you're enjoying, drop a sub, drop a donation, support the Tetcher. The Tetcher lives. We get casting. I'm up so early. I basically run on American time. I normally would not be awake for another 5 to 6 hours, 5 to 7 hours in some cases. So, yeah, this is very early for me. This is like my equivalent of starting a cast at midnight. But I'm excited. These are going to be fun games. It's a hot day in the UK. It's about 15 degrees. Hang on. Where's my phone? Let's find out what temperature it is. It is... No, not Fahrenheit. Give me good units. Tell me right units. Oh my god, I can't find the button to change Fahrenheit to Celsius. Okay, hang on. What is 78 Fahrenheit in Celsius?
Is equal to 25.556 degrees Celsius.
It's 25 degrees. Not the hottest, but it's warm for me. It's warm enough for me, especially there's no breeze to cool it down right now. So, because obviously I'm inside with a load of hot equipment, which I just have to live with. So yeah, not the hottest, but hot enough to be inconvenient for me. 15 degrees is factor weather 50 if you're from the northeast. Fair enough. Fair enough. It does get very hot in the UK from time to time. My brother's wedding was last year, 2 years ago now? It was a little bit ago, before pandemic. And his wedding was hotter than my time in Phoenix, Arizona. It was absolutely boiling, and for those who don't know, Phoenix, Arizona is a desert. It's very, very rough. 25 Celsius is too hot for here? Yeah, exactly. Living on NA time so long, fully operating freedom units. Exactly. We're back in the game, everybody. Teams are back. We're ready to go. Valor, so far, only on 3 stacks of Fire at Will. Going to be looking to farm those as the game goes on. Let's see how we go. We're not at level 4s yet. Nenepi. Trying to interrupt the rotation. Good Blizzard by Shizak, but they don't want to fully engage. Their Ice Cream was looking to try and flank him. Try and bait them into a 5v3 or a 5v4. Unable to do so. Great charge onto Phoenix. Second kill. Going over to the side of Soundless, and they are immediately going to, guess what? Invade! The Vikings continuing to stack Falstad, farm and Vikings, exactly what we like to see, getting those frequent flyer stacks as well. Looking good. Here in Italy, we have 30 Celsius, and it's raining every night. Oh my god, that sounds terrible. The humidity of that. I went to Canada once during the summer, and the humidity was just miserable. I feel ya. Unlucky. We take down the entire camp. Not getting too much value there. Good pause. Good stop. As instead they're going to go back in. More Vikings. Yay! Another kill goes over the Soundless. I'm not biased. I just like seeing people farm Vikings because it's rare you get to see it in Storm League especially. We're going to see the Arsenal for the Valor. Camp stolen away by Soundless in the top lane. Setting themselves up. Quick rotation down to the bottom lane. Lots of damage onto Fallander. Trying to finish them off. Turning it round onto Shizak. Shizak's taken out. A quick cheeky B-step from Valander. They're even looking for Vicarious. Valor is dead. Stacks will be denied. You can't stack if you're dead. They're going for the triple cap. Nenepi zoning one side. Olaf's going to have to come in and interrupt as Balog is about to get their ass kicked. Krogok, focus down. Can they live? Balog finished off by Fallander on the side. Zeratul keeps zoning. He's not committing yet because Falstad needs to get their side. It's a little lower mana. Bot altar already taken. Channel comes in from Shizak, and they're going to let it go. It will be a 2-for-1. Look here. Did I know Wales technically has rainforest? Yeah, it's not based on heat, right? Rainforest is literally just an amount of rain. Hasn't Phoenix been increasingly unlivable during the summer in recent years? Yes! It's a desert! If they didn't have air conditioning, it would be an uninhabitable wasteland. Also irrigation, also useful. We're going to see Soundless retreating away here. They're able to get a 2-for-1. We got Secret Weapon for Falstad. They're going for the Boomerang spell armor reduction. A lot of their damage is auto-attack focused, so this makes a lot more sense. Zeratul trying to farm the Vikings, not landing the shot that time. Has gone for that wormhole, getting that extra crit on that level 10. Another invade attempt from dudes. Whoever Cat Ice Cube. And also we did go for Ruby, not the shielding potion. I'm surprised. Shamsek trying to zone away. Camp is started. Not being committed to too hard. Norse Force for Vikings. Going for a shield here. Falstad flies in. Flanking onto the back line, but changed their attention onto Shizak. No kill is acquired, but the camp is protected. Solid play there. They're going to look for Krogok again. Trying to get out of there. The zap's coming in. There's that Norse Force shielding, but the slow from Nenepi is enough of a kill. Currently 5 kills to 0 in favor of Soundless, who are almost at level 10, as level 8 has just been hit by dudes. Soundless sitting very, very far ahead. Currently looking very strong here. 2 deaths on that May. They've been able to burst her down. Even pre-percentage damage. Vicarious. Channeling. They're not even going to contest it. Just letting it go, letting them even up. Soundless would much rather just get level 10 than risk a fight before it. Olaf is farmed once again. As Soundless keep pushing in. There's that Might of Nerazim. And they finished that Shadow Hunter, so Zeratil's going to be starting to do monstrous amounts of damage. Divine Shield for the Uther. Ramex TV, thank you very much for the follow. Apocalypse. And we don't have the Cassia pick yet. Could pick Valkyrie to try and snipe people. Snipe that Valor perhaps. A Ball Lightning could also be a lot of damage. Gonna be patient. Hydra leashes the camp. Runs very far forward because it's a bait. Nenepi looks for Phoenix, can't land the full combo, so instead they turn up to Valor. Good route to zone away, but Nenepi gets the crit auto and is able to finish the job. They even look for another Viking, getting the kill onto that. Phoenix dropped low, but is able to survive this time. They survive. And yes, no spin to win. They went with the shielding. They're so afraid of being ganked. They went for the protection. This also means they could keep all the Vikings alive for longer, which could combo with that Nordic attack squad later on. Try and maximize their damage output by just maximizing percentage damage. Quick question, off topic, now you're online at a time where you can watch. Any updates on when / if there'll be more new D&D in the future? Nothing as of the moment as Krogok is focused down. Valor picks up Strafe. Nothing as of now. I've been enjoying playing off stream. It was just impossible to get everyone in the same area together. Focus onto Hydra. Hydra is taken out. They try to turn. And that's a massive blow up. Valor is removed. They even get the Valkyrie onto Deckard looking for more. Abol's focused. The rubies are there, making their way through, staying alive. Deckard's attack too, team. Phoenix stays alive. Nenepi has to double blink out with Might of Nerazim. Eric is sneaking the channel. They get the interrupt though. Shamsik able to move in. Eric will now continue to do this forever. Top is claimed though, that actually technically isn't great. Krugok just lost his team even more core health by interrupting this. So unless his team gets this, this actually loses them value. Because they lose an extra bit of core health. But yes, no D&D for now. Nice play again to escape. Unfortunately, we can't get everyone in the same position. I've tried to organize stuff with Wisdom, but and Heroes Hearth, but they don't seem to want to work with me at all. So I don't know what I've done to make them mad, but as such, there is no D&D happening with any of that lot at the moment. They set themselves up. Quick kill once again onto Eric using that Zeratul. They're going to push their way in, try and get those sappers into the core multi-shot. There's a good charge. Sir Ice Cream, Valkyrie comes out looking for anyone, can't finish the job. Look at Phoenix, health just deleted by Nenepi. Icewall comes out early on the multi-shot of Vicarious. Dive from Diablo, Apocalypse catches them all. They only get Tychus though. Vicarious able to escape, never mind. Nenepi with the wormhole, sappers go in. 23-28 in favor of Soundless. Very nicely done. Transparent, I get confused of to where's the best place to stand in the bush as the tank. Are you able to explain that for us? It depends on bush to bush. Unfortunately, there's no correct answer to that. The majority of the time, as we see Shizak trying to tank through, trying to hold Ice Cream in the death zone, but he gets out. A lot of times, you'll just want to stand as close to the edge of the bush without going outside it as possible. If you're a tank like Diablo, so that you can flip people in. If you're an assassin, you need to be much further back. If you're a Stitches, you want to be further back so that they are pulled as far back as possible. But overall, you want to get the jump on your opponent as quick as possible. So too far back in the bush can be a disadvantage, but again, it really depends. There's no one correct answer there. Shamsik into the back line, looking for Phoenix. Zeratul, Nenepi doing a good job as well. Blix dodges out of the stay a while, which is immediately Valkyrie. Self-divine shield from Uther to charge forward. Strafe does a lot of damage. Hydra gets doggled in the backline. Shamsik turned on Nordic. The Vikings are rushing forward. They don't even have Nordic attack squad. squad. They're just going ham. Zeratul picks them up though. Sir Ice Cream is dropped, but this fight is looking like it was almost won by Dudes. But Zeratul picks up another kill, but down goes Zeratul. It's Fallander versus 3 now. Dudes, they win the fight. They're gonna get the channel. They'll still be behind, but they catch up a bit. Apoc denies the channel again. Is he going back in? No, he changes his mind, backs away. And Dudes take the fight. They take it back. Unbelievable. I'm sorry I couldn't have been more help with the place to stand in the bush. Because there is no 100% correct answer. Gonna make their way out. Clearing the lane, soaking it out. They're still behind in experience, which is not what you want to be in with the Vikings. Hunker burning Olaf coming in for Vikings here. A little bit of extra DPS there. Rip Balog. Absolutely murderized. Bot Altar, Bot Belter, retaken by the side of Dudes. Soundless though. Hydra re-pushing. Remember, Hydra was the off-lane last game. This time is playing that false step because he's basically playing it like an off-laner. Nedapi, who was ranged last game on that Zeratul because he is just going for kills. Master Warblade, huge amount of extra damage. Crippling Hammer helps them continuously land those auto attacks. Diablo trying to set them up to finish off Olaf. He's dropped low. They finish off the kill and the invade continues. Root landing onto Uther. Vikings all teleported in. Stay a while interrupted. Hydra is very low. Strafe gusted away because they're so low. They've already got the mate. This fight is worth. If they give up the camp, that's fine. They just can't all afford to die. They're going back in. The camp is lost, but they get Balog. Looking for Tychus. The body block is good, but dashing through Phoenix for the escape. Gets the turn, and they're going to back away. Fallander is dropped low as we see the stun from the Olaf. It's combat Olaf, large and in charge, but without the level 1. And this build is very confusing, but it's working. Lands the stun. Fallander tanks through this time, though, with the help of Shamsek. They turn it around, looking for Phoenix. Health bars are non-existent, but they still dive deep. Cleave 1, looking for Vicarious. They got it. Shamsek with the last second stun. They get the Tychus. Falstad grabs the shots on bot and is going right after Eric. Krugok trying to run away, but is focused down, drops the shield. It does almost nothing as in comes Shizak to buy some time. Nedapi, cleave 1. Valkyrie is stasised out. As Fallander going to begin to channel. Krugok going to interrupt it, though. These Vikings make such a pain. Falstad channels on the right, though, leaving just this altar with just May alive. These will be the shots. Heading in to the core. It's not lethal yet, but the core is brought down to 8 health to 25. I have no idea what is going on with this Vikings build. It's tank build, but without the tank talent at level 1. Tank talent plus a little bit of wave. It's very wave clear heavy because they got Hunker, Berlin, Olaf, and explosive attacks. Their wave clear is insane as the shots come out from the boss for Soundless. Staying ahead, Viking dies. Rotation coming in, Ice Walls, but it's the team, doesn't stasis anyone. They're trying to body block in Shamsek, who's charging forward, going to de-shield their way out. Vikings play again to try and flank their way back in, try to set themselves up. Shamsek barely alive. Olaf able to chase them down. The strafe, lots of extra damage. Zeratul gets a good shot. Counter stun from Olaf. Wormhole, the only thing that gets him out. Counter charge. Diablo gets the kill onto Tychus and the kill onto Deckard. So Ice Cream pop it off as they turn around onto Olaf. Shizak is forced to back away. Fallander back it up as well. Lands a couple more spears. In the meantime, never even coming to the fight. Hydra is still pushing at top lane. So Ice Cream's back in. He gets Vala. He's absolutely jumping all over them. Shizak backs away. So Ice Cream survives the engage. Barely enough, but that is going to be enough. They get top lane. That's already lethal. They're looking for the double channel. They're going to chase down Eric, the last Viking alive. If he dies, there's no play again, and it's 40 seconds out anyway. Eric falls. No one is alive to stop Soundless from moving on to the next round, and they will face off against Inting for Ruby. Soundless take the game, and they will move on. Very impressive by Soundless. A lot of kills just happened there. A lot of kills were in that game. 23-8 by the end of it. But dudes brought it back. They very nearly were able to salvage that and turn that back into their favor. The what on earth build Vikings? It didn't do terribly. They just ran into the backline with Large and in charge, Hunkerbird and Olaf, and were just like, all right, you'll die or you won't. Let's see. They had the Norse Force as well, which wasn't terrible. Getting the pretty solid shields to try just run it down and try to set up the kills. I mean, yeah. I don't know what to say. It's a very peculiar way to play, but they got it. They absolutely got it. And with that, game number 1 and 2 go over to Soundless. They move on to the next round, where they will be playing against Inting for Ruby. Like to see how well they can do. It's a tough opponent. Can they do enough to close it out? Let's have a look. Let's have a look at that table. The talents are there. Screenshot them if you want them. Let's have a look at the table. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to fix it. Yep, it just resets every time. Wonderful. Even without refreshing, it just resets every single time. So we just have to live with what we have and interact. Scroll. There we go. Kind of fixed. No matter how wide you actually make the window, it still has a scroll bar on the Heroes Lounge website, so that's just what we have to deal with. So, with that, Soundless taking the 2-0 will move on to play against Inting for Ruby in our second matchup. Winner of that will move on to the Grand Finals to play off against Team KB. I'm just going to very quickly start setting up the overlays. Soundless, I'm going to assume that Soundless are once again on the right for the sake of my sanity. Hooray, sanities! Thing that I lose almost every day. Alrighty. So, we have... take me back to the bracket page. Inting for Ruby. Copy. I know where your logo is. We'll just set you up as quick as possible. Reset map and score. Okay, yes, there's Inting for Ruby's logo. Okay. What we're going to do is very quickly head to a break. And when we come back, it will be time for our second series. I'm just going to jump in. Never mind. Looks like there's already a lobby set up. I'm still going to jump to a quick break just so I can take a quick refill my drink quickly. So when we come back, we will be able to jump in. And I believe it's Screaming Sunrise, Screaming Sunset, one of the two. But when we come back, it will be time for game number 2. Just while they get set up, give me a quick moment. We will return with series number 2, Inting for Ruby versus Soundless.